Hello everybody. Today I'm going to replace an outside water valve. Actually, it's called a spigot. Here in Chicago, where the weather is very cold during the winter, you need a special valve. This valve has a long stem, like 12 inches stem, and when you shut it off, it seals inside the house. So it's protected. That 12 inches is inside the house, and just the handle is outside. And even that, the handle has a system that it breaks a vacuum, and whatever water was in there, it falls so it doesn't freeze. This valve has been leaking for quite some time, and I'm guilty. But today is the day it's happening. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow might never happen. So today it's the day. The method I'm gonna use is not going to be compression or solder fittings. Today I'm gonna use the Pro Press from Ridgid. So I'm gonna show it to you. Very interesting. So let me show you the valve. So this is the valve that is leaking, but today we're going to replace it. So let me show you the new valve we're going to install. This is about 12 inches long, and what you see on the wall is just the handle. You just see this handle, but all this is inside the house where it's warmer. In this case, we have a crawl space, and in the crawl, what you see is just this, and the actual seal when you shut it off is gonna be right here at the end. So right here is gonna seal, and all this is gonna be inside. Sometimes it could be on a crawl space, or it could be on a basement as well. So this is gonna be protected, and besides that, it has a vacuum braking system that whatever water is trapped in the stem, this device here on top is going to break the vacuum, and then water is going to come outside so it doesn't freeze again. So as I said before, we're not going to use compression fittings, or we are not going to solder. We're going to use this special tool that I like so much. It's a Ridgid RP241. These fittings, I just put a female adapter here, and I threaded, and now what you see is the black rubber piece. It seals, it compresses that with a lot of pounds of pressure. I don't remember, but it's into the thousands, maybe 2,000 pounds of pressure, and it seals it, and it lasts forever. I have fittings 20 years old with this system, and it's working like it's supposed to. So that's why I love this system. So now we're gonna enter my crawl space. Lucky for me, my crawl space is cement, and it's easy to crawl. I have knee pads, and I'm protecting my knees, of course, but some other places have dirt, and it's humid and water, and it's not fun. So let's shut the water off to the whole house to replace this valve. And now we're gonna take a look at it where the valve is. So this is what you see there, that pipe coming out of that piece of wood right there. That's my stem. If you see, it's about 12 inches, and it has some insulation around it, so I just removed it so we can see it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut it, and maybe we're gonna put an extension, because my Ridgid tool is not going to fit there, so I'm going to do an extension outside, so we do the seal outside. So I'm going to use a mini cutter like this, very handy to work in tight spaces. I usually use an automatic one, the one that you don't tighten it. It's just, you just turn and it cuts, but I don't have it. But these would do for now. So what I do, I just cut it, and I go a circular motion, and at the beginning I go back and forth for a couple turns. So because what I experience is that when you just keep going around and you don't notice, it might just go like a spiral. It doesn't cut in one line in the same place, so then you have to cut more. So Now we cut it. You have to be prepared with something at the bottom to collect the water, or if it's just a crawl space like this, it doesn't matter. Now I'm gonna push this one from here, and we're gonna put an extension because it's hard for me to work in the crawl space. So we're gonna do it here. I previously put a fitting, the female adapter, by press. So what we're gonna do is you don't have to sand it, but you have to clean it, kind of, with abrasive pad. And this green pad from the kitchen is good. It has to be dry, and then you're just gonna insert it. You make sure you debore the pipe. This was a clean pipe, so you make sure it goes all the way in. It's about like an inch that goes in. And now we're gonna use a Ridgid 241. We turn it on from here, and then we're gonna put the jaws right at the fitting, and it takes only 3 seconds to do the compression or the press. So just put the jaw around that bumpy fitting, and then we're gonna press our button, and it is actually 3 seconds. Now we're gonna remove it. Just open the jaws, and then that's it. No flame, no permit for a flame. You don't have to call the alarm system. It's awesome, and you can even do it while it's leaking, and it would seal. So now this is the old one. We're gonna pull it out, and the head is a little bit. The fitting is hard to pass through that hole, but just jiggle it, and then it'll come out. And then I have prepared my spigot with the extension. So we're gonna fit it in, and we're gonna try to center it, and then we're gonna go inside and measure again and cut. So be prepared to go in and out, unless you have a helper. If they're inside, it's easier, or if somebody's outside. But for now, let's just push it all the way in. Again, you have to jiggle it so it goes all the way in. So that's it. Now we're gonna go and test inside. Okay, now we are here inside. We're gonna pair it. We're gonna put it next to each other to see where we're gonna cut. So make sure you pull it so it's all the way touching the siding of the house, and then the old pipe, you just put it together, and we're gonna make a mark, and then we're gonna cut it, because all we're gonna do is gonna be a coupler, and that's it. So I'm making my mark for that coupler, and we're gonna use the same cutter to cut this pipe. There you go. So now we're gonna do the same. We're gonna clean both ends. I already cleaned the other one, but let's clean this one, and just make sure it's clean. And this is an older pipe, and it doesn't matter, as long as you just scuff it, and that'll do it. So now I'm gonna grab. Okay, now we're gonna apply silicone. You want silicone so it seals, and at the same time it seals the hole, so no cold air goes into the crawl space and freezes the valve inside. So don't be shy, put a lot of it. You can clean it later on. Even when it dries, you just scrape it, and it'll clean. Okay, so now we are here back in the crawl space. I just cleaned both of my pipes, and I'm inserting my coupler on one side, and then on the other side I cut it 1/8 of an inch shorter so I can pull it, and that assures me that it's going to be tight against the siding. Now we're going to do the same operation, same beautiful tool, ProPress 241 Ridgid, and you're going to press for 3 seconds, and it's going to compress. It's going to press that fitting, and then we're going to do the second one, 3 more seconds, and we'll be done with that part. There you go. So that's it. Now you open the jaws, and then we're gonna go outside again, and we are gonna put some screws to secure the whole thing to the wall. So now the reason why I like this tool so much is because it saves time. It's expensive though. This is $2,000 tool, but you don't have to call the alarm system. You don't need a permit for an open flame. You can do it while the water is dripping, so it saves you time all the way around. So it's a very nice tool to have. Make that effort and get it if you're a plumber or if you are planning in working with plumbing. Um, yeah. So now we're gonna put the insulation back. Don't forget the flashlight there. And then we're gonna go outside, and then we're gonna put some screws um, on the valve. So I already put one screw, and I'm gonna do my second one. These are stainless steel screws, so you know they last forever. If you use regular screws, they'll rot, they'll rust, and then you'll be in trouble removing the old faucet in 20 years. So now we can clean now or later. Now look at that, it's working. I turned the water back on, I tested it, it's working, it's beautiful. We can remove that silicone when it dries. But if you like this video, if it was beneficial to you, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video.